Welcome to A Seat at the Table, guys. On our last episode, we talked about spirituality and religion. Is there a difference? Is it a requirement in your relationship, or is it a requirement for your children? And so we have a special guest today, Miss Eyvonne Gazaway, and we are going to take a deeper dive into this conversation. We're going to get some insight. This topic is going to be good. Welcome to A Seat at the Table. I am Demi.
I'm Randy.
And today we're going to be continuing the conversation with spirituality and religion.
Versus religion.
Ooh, it got a little hot and heavy last episode.
Did it get heavy, or did it just, or was it more informative as to the way you can think as an individual when it comes to the topics?
I don't know. We're going to get into it today. We're going to definitely get into it today. We have Miss Eyvonne Gazaway here with us on this episode to bring us some insight. Just kind of like Randy said, just going about the topic and decipher some things.
Well, like with me, I came from a religious background, just completely religious, and it's kind of. I guess the best way, it was kind of like a militant situation. It was kind of like, this is the only road that you can walk. And so once I kind of separated myself from it and came back as a spiritual being, I realized that there are several roads out there. Several roads, and it's not more about the organization, it's more about the relationship.
Transitioning myself out of a religious mindset into a relationship, it can be a scary road because there's a lot of things that you have to let go of that actually brought me to the point where I am today.
That's where I had a crossroad, because I was like, oh wow, there's this non-denominational.
Right.
Then I got in there and I was like, it's like the same thing.
Right.
Sometimes with a religious mindset, it can cap you off at some point.
True.
Yeah.
Especially some denominations where, especially as a woman, and as a woman of color, your position in the church can be very limited. And I knew within myself that God had called me to do greatness, but little did I know it would be something that he would actually take me out of that religious mindset, denominational mindset. First of all, I want to say I don't want to change anybody's minds. That's not why we're having this conversation.
Exactly.
What we're talking about is that there is an opportunity to know more.
Right.
There is an opportunity to explore more.
Right.
Biblical literalism.
Literalism.
Yes.
Okay.
A Gentile heresy.
Okay.
And how we're not supposed to make the Bible literal. First of all, the Bible, when it was put together, when King James put it together, he put it together how he wanted it put together.
Agreed.
It's not in sequential order.
Think about how different the world might be if it were a story where the human man was depicted as we are.
Yes. We talk about putting God in a box, but we limit him to a Bible. He is so much more than what is written here. And yes, it's a great foundation, like you just said, the stories, how they help us, they encourage us, but there's so much more to God than what's really just written in the Bible. The Bible has been used to validate segregation. It's been used to validate slavery. It's been used to validate women being less than women, men. It's been used in so many ways to cause so much harm to people because people don't take the time to really read it for themselves and get what they need to get for themselves. Like you said, we wait on somebody to tell us what it says. We go to church, like I remember the lady in the clip said, to get a word and to hear a word. It's not going to always come in that setting. I've gotten so much from God just being by myself and just really craving more.
Transitioning from religion to spirituality, what was the difference? Like, do you feel different? Was the journey different? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel like people are going to look at you in a different way, or do you feel free?
I think it's a combination of all of that. Initially, I was feeling, wow, my eyes are being open and I'm starting to question a lot of stuff. So yes, I was feeling guilty. But again, this is about a relationship and not religion. It's not about people. It's not about position. It's not about prophet this or that. You know, it's not about a title. It's about a relationship with God. And so I had to push past my fear. I was afraid. But you know what? Jesus was crucified. He gave all he got. He gave his life. And if I have to be crucified by people unfriending me, or, you know, talking about me, that's a cross I'll bear.
I don't know why people get so much backlash when they say, oh, I'm spiritual. You know, I said it to somebody, I was like, oh, I'm a spiritual person. Oh, you a devil worshiper. It's like, what the hell? They don't have nothing to do with worshiping the devil. You know what I'm saying? That is my personal preference. And like I stated on the last episode, I feel like I'm closer more now than I've ever been. But we also have to quit using words to put people in a box. You know,
Right.
I think when we talked about this earlier, we talked about religion. When we hear religion, we automatically assume we're connected to a church.
Yeah, exactly.
Us three right here could be religious and not even go to a building.
It should be a lifestyle.
Yes.
It shouldn't be an obligation. It's a lifestyle. Live it. Live it in the midst of your vices.
Absolutely.
Live it in the midst of your vices.
Because we all got them.
Because we all got vices. But live as the church, because at the end of the day, if you take it all out, when Jesus came, he didn't come for a building, he came for the people.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. We would also like to thank Miss Eyvonne Gazaway for coming in today and being a special guest with us and giving us some insight just on her transition and her journey from religion to spirituality. Again, I am Demi.
Yeah, I'm Randy.
And thank you for tuning into The Seat. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Interested in being a member of our live studio audience? Email a seat with Randy and Demi at gmail.com.